You needed those folks to be in the room to tell the story and to show that hard work and diligence and belief and faith in a God that never fails will lead you to a new day. But to address relevance, let me throw out some mission statements. This is from the original Constitution of the NAACP. To ensure the political, educational, social, and economic equality of all citizens. Do you feel there's still a need for that? Yes. I can't hear you. Yes. All right. Next. To achieve equality of rights and eliminate race prejudice among the citizens of the United States. Yes. There's a need for that. Yes. To remove all barriers of racial discrimination through democratic processes. Yes. Okay. To seek enactment and enforcement of federal, state, and local laws securing civil rights. Yes. To inform the public of the adverse effects of racial discrimination and to seek its elimination. Yes. To educate persons as to their constitutional rights and to take all lawful action to secure the exercise thereof and to take any other lawful action in furtherance of these objectives consistent with the NAACP's Articles of Incorporation and this Constitution. Yes. Yes. So y'all feel there's still a need for that. Yes. Then don't ever let anyone tell you to your face, behind your back, on somebody's radio station, TV station, newspaper, anywhere that the NAACP is not relevant, because it's a lie. My grandma used to say that the devil is a lie and the truth ain't in him. We now more than ever have to stand vigilant and stand proud. And what I always used to tell people, that when you got these black faces in the room, in the Capitol building, why did you leave us out there by ourselves to fight the battle? It was like some folks said, well, you know, I don't know if y'all remember this TV show, Carter Country. I remember the show where they had the mayor, he used to tell the sheriff, Roy, handle it, just handle it. That's the way some of us felt. The citizens just said, well, y'all in there now, y'all can fix it. Y'all can do all that stuff. Now, let me tell you something. When you had to stand at a podium in front of 121 other folks, the majority of them didn't look like you, none of them voted for you, none of them cared if you were there tomorrow or not. And you're sitting up there fighting for the rights of folks. It would be a lot more effective if they knew that when they looked out the window, all of y'all were out there saying, listen to what Mr. Fleming got to say. Vote for what Mr. Fleming wants you to vote for. That's what the NAACP is about. It's always been about being part of the process. And when the NAACP says you elected officials handle it, we'll do something else, no. No. It doesn't matter whether it's Barack Obama or little Eric Fleming. The NAACP is supposed to be, as the young folks say, our back. You're supposed to have our back. And we're supposed to listen to what you have to say, too. Because there's some of us who get elected and get these nice suits, get a little money and stuff. You know, they pat you on the back and say, ooh, you're so well-spoken. How many of y'all have ever heard that in your life? You show up somewhere and you're in a crowd where the crowd's a little lighter than you, and you get up and talk, and they say, he's so well-spoken. I went to a college. I'm supposed to be well-spoken. My mama taught me well. You know, some folks don't understand that that's kind of talking down to black folks. When you say that we're well-spoken, we don't say it the other way around. You know, can you imagine black folks always say that about white people? Y'all so well-spoken. As if we were expecting something different, you know? Let me stop with that. Let me get on with what I'm trying to say. We're going to talk about some things, since we understand that the NAACP is still relevant. And there are some things that we need to be vigilant about. Voter ID is one. There is a move, and it's always been out there, that we need to have an ID. And these folks will tell you the story that I'll go to the bank, and I got to show my driver's license at the bank. Why don't I need to do it at the voting place? Because you're taking somebody's money. They want to make sure that the money stay there. That's why they want to know who you are. as money. When you vote, you sign an affidavit. When you sign that roll book, that's a legal document, folks. If you lie on that, you're going to jail. If you say that you so-and-so such and such, and you ain't that person, you are going to jail. I don't need an ID for that. If you say you are who you say you are, then I believe you. But what they are trying to do is to scare some folks off. And it ain't just black folks. It's folks of a class. If you don't meet a certain criteria, if you haven't gone to the right schools, if you are not part of the social clique, they don't want you to participate in the process. Now they can mask it as Democrat, Republican, they can mask it liberal, conservative. It's the same old folks trying to do the same old thing. Because you got folks on both sides of the aisle saying, I don't see a problem with ID. Well, ask these folks that are still around, they got tear gas, they got terrorized, that saw their cousins lynched and humiliated. Ask them. Ask them how many bubbles are in a bar of soap. Oh. That's right. That's right. See, they used to ask you questions. Ask them for $2 for a poll tax. And they wonder, why do we not want an ID? See, there are actually people in the state of Mississippi that don't drive. So why do you want them to have a driver's license? Why do you want them to show ID? And I don't know if the circuit clerk is here or not, but I don't see any circuit clerks coming to the Capitol building and saying we're going to pay to make sure that everybody's got a photo ID. I've never heard one say it. Never. So the question becomes, if you're not going to pay for it, who going to pay for it? If it's going to be me, then that's a tax. Plain and simple. The Republicans like to say, if it walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck. Well, this one's quacking. And the NAACP has been vigilant and strong in standing against this voter ID. What the trickery is happening is that some folks get into the process and try to make deals and think they're smarter than the folks. You know them folks that go to the, I don't know if none of y'all do it, but some of them folks go down to the casino, they think they got a system to be casino. Now I tell you, if you see the big pretty building, you got the hotel, you got all these acts coming from all over the world, you got the nice carpet and the shit. Do you think these folks get that for free? You pay for that. You can't beat them folks at their game. And that the principle applies in the legislative process. Never dance with the devil, because you always gonna get what? Burned. But the NAACP, I'm safe to say, and proud to say, has taken a stand and will continue to fight this battle until the end of the session. The other thing, the other issue around voting that is very, very important is what we call suffrage restoration. That's a big fancy word for this process. If you have gone to jail, you lose your right to vote in the state of Mississippi for certain crimes. Say, for example, some of you gentlemen that think y'all players, right? Y'all think y'all can marry more than one woman. In the state of Mississippi, you lose your right to vote for that. That's called bigamy. In 1894, well, 1890, I'm sorry, when they came up with the Mississippi Constitution, they looked at all of the things that they thought black people did. That's right. Whether it was marrying more than one wife, or stealing stuff, or rape, murder, whatever they thought black folks did bad. They put that in the Constitution to say that if you did any of those things, you lose your right to vote. And we ain't trying to sugarcoat history. History is what it is.